When you're presenting, you're not just one person always. You're not just one version of you always. And we reviewed a couple webinars this week of people who are in the Ignition program and the 7-Figure Influencer program, because one thing we do there is we actually look at their presentation. And not all of them, and not 100%, but a lot of the time that they are presenting, they're boring. And not like real boring, but still we're like, gosh, this information is good, but there's no life. It's not being breathed life into it. So let's be real. Let's be real for a second. If someone's watching your webinar, do you actually have to entertain and keep them engaged? Is it not like one of the most important things? That's why we spend, a good couple of hours at Amplify about it, is you've got to make sure that you keep them engaged, you stay with them, that you move them, that you keep them there. And so I wanted to just recap the 8 identities from Amplify. And Hannah, we'll probably put this section into the training, and so that it's there for people online. Yep. And so that we get it. So the first identity is inclusion, gaining agreement, inclusion. I'm so good at this. Even on this teaching webinar, I've been able to generate over 100 comments in the chat box. How do I do that? I'm always asking for your input. I'm making sure you're here with me. I know all the time who's with me, who's typing in, write this down. Does it make sense? Are you with me? Are you getting this? And so notice that I'm reaching through the screen and I'm pulling you into this so that you're not going to go anywhere. When I tell you that what I'm about to talk about is the most important thing, which it really is. If you miss this, you miss everything. And so I'm pulling people in consistently and gaining their agreement, gaining their attention. I'm making sure that my screen is the most exciting screen. And I know some of you are probably still scrolling Facebook. You've got your TV on over here. You've probably got kids over here. You've got a phone here. I know that that's what's happening, and it's cool. I know that there's lots on. This might be on while you're cooking dinner right now. I might be the guy sitting on the, it's funny, you guys can tell me if you are. I got sent a picture the other day of someone who was watching me while they were having a bath, and they sent the photo of me sitting on their toilet on their laptop while they're sitting in the bath, so it's there. So it's all sorts. And so I know that I can be literally, some people just said, I'm cooking. Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing my kids here. I get it. So I know what's going on. But the point is that's the same thing for your presentation. True? So the first one, the most important identity is you're bringing them in, you're gaining the attention, you're making sure they're there. That's number one. Type it in, write it down. Gaining agreement, gaining attention, creating inclusion. The second identity is the friend identity. The friend-to-friend identity. So this is one when you first start, when you're welcoming people to your events. When people join your webinar, they hear your story, they connect with you, they need to know, look, this is someone that I can get along with, right? This is a friend. This is someone that cares. Maybe they're a few steps down the track at the moment, but they care. And so say things like, I really care about you. Really mean it too, because can't just say it without meaning it, right? But really mean it. And let them know just why you're doing this and just how much you care. Allow yourself to just, and it's cool because it's Valentine's Day, allow yourself to love on your clients, really. Understand and work on that identity of just pouring love through the camera and being there with them so that they feel you wherever they are. The next identity is the caring identity. The I feel your pain identity. The I know what it's like to be frustrated that you don't have enough leads. I know what it's like to have an amazing program and to sit there so frustrated because you see people that are dumber than you who is telling the wrong information, I know what it's like when you see them making all the money with the big stages and you think that's BS, that's wrong, they're incongruent, they're not as smart, they don't know. Yet they've got all the attention. I know what it's like. That's the third identity, the I feel your pain, the caring identity. The next one, the reasonable man, the reasonable person, the reasonable man, the one where you're just right down the middle. Look, this program is $10,000 today only. And if you buy it in one lot, I'll give you $1,000 off. And look, we've got 3 payment plans of $199. The reasonable man, he just talks. He's not got there's no emotion behind it. He's just like a deflating balloon. It's just this much. This is how it is. Don't worry about it. That's how much it is. And so the reasonable person, the Jerry Seinfeld, the friends, they're just reasonable. They're not there. They're not hypey. They're not sad. They're not excited. They're just reasonable. This is how it is. This is the price. And this tonality, the reasonable person, is the tonality that you must have when you're closing. Is that, look, it's $9.99 today, and that's all you have to pay. And I should be charging you at least $10,000, but I'm not. I'm taking off over 99%, and it's just $99. That's all. So grab your pen and let's get this started. Just put down, your credit card and your first baby's name, because that's all it's going to cost. So you can just be in this reasonable man tone. That's number 4. Number 5 is absolute certainty and authority. The Tony Robbins one. This is when you're just so certain, so clear. Now, this one's easy for me. This is the one where I had to learn all the others. But certainty, I got no problem with certainty. But a lot of us, and we actually, when we were listening to the presentations, this one was missed. Like, I didn't feel that the person talking to me was absolutely a freaking expert. By the way, type in if you really get this. You've got to learn from someone who's an expert, right? Right? Like, you don't want to be listening to, just let me know if that makes sense. You don't want to be talking or hearing from anyone who isn't absolute certain and got a force. There you go. Look how many people I had just write and make sense just because I changed my intensity. There you go. I got most comments when I was in that identity. That's because we have to understand how to get into certainty. I have to say, the 3 presentations I looked at, certainty was missed. How certain are you that your product's going to work? How certain are you that they have to have it? If you're not certain, do you think they're going to be? All right, I'll stop it now. I like the certainty one. Yeah, it's one of my faves. It's my fave. I'm a pretty certain kind of guy. The next one is excited and passionate. Remember, mirror neurons. Mirror neurons. If you're not excited about it, they can't get excited. If you don't talk about how great it is, and this is hard for people because a lot of us have been told to be modest, right? But how great is it that you have a property portfolio that's been sending your kids to private school? It's amazing. How great is it that you healed your cancer, or you did this, or you did these things? Most of us don't get really excited about our results, right? So we tell our results and we're like, so yeah, I've studied all these things and made $1 million and love my life and been pretty successful. I'm not even exaggerating how people talk about their success. So you know what? My life is pretty awesome. Right? I've been able to do this, and it's like I'm living my dream. If you asked me 10 years ago that I could have this life, I'll think you're absolutely crazy. This is an absolute dream come true. No, I'm not, but I can if you want me to. That's funny. Did it sound like it was coming to you? Now, that's how good I am. People thinking, I'm talking to 2 of you. Rahi also messaged at the same time. What did he say? You guys both thought it was you. Oh, yeah. Discovery and amazement is number 7, okay? So, and when I finally figured out how to heal my wife's cancer, when I finally figured out this detail, it was amazing. It was like lightning struck me. Phenomenal. You've got to be able to get into that amazement when you get into your discovery. You've got to be able to sell it. You've got to be able to let them feel just how freaking amazing it was when you went to the doctor and they said, you're cancer-free. When they said you're this, when they said you're that, right? Let them feel it, because mirror neurons. And so the last one is mystery or secret. And you've always got to remember that if it's a secret, it's whispered. Secrets are whispered. So the last one's mystery secret. So I guess my point of going through this, we obviously cover it massively in Amplifying, we practice them and things like that, is number one, gaining agreement, gaining inclusion, gaining attention, getting them to stay with you. Number two, friend to friend. Number three, caring, I feel your pain. Number four, the reasonable person. Number five, absolute certainty. Number six, excited and passionate. Number seven, discovery and amazement. Number eight, mystery and secret. These bring your presentation to life. True? And yeah, I know, I hear you. But Chris, I'm not good at these. It's just like riding a bike. You start off not knowing how, and then you can pick it up whenever you want. So you've just got to get going.